Medical Center specialize in detecting and treating such injuries that are a result of an auto accident. Call today to schedule your consultation at 615-794-0800 or go to callmepainfree.com.
Good morning, folks. My name is Elk Kennedy. I'm dude number 3. This show is going to be a little different. On Friday, my wife, Mary Susan Berry Kennedy, died in a tragic freak accident of falling down a stairway. The support and help and of this community, our friends and neighbors, old college friends, has been overwhelming, including the folks at this station. And so today we're just going to have a day of remembrance. Hopefully we'll get back to being our usual feisty selves tomorrow. Dude number 2, Clayton Harris, I'm going to get you to sort of take over, please.
Good morning, Delk. We're also joined this morning by Mr. Jim York, dude number 1. Good morning, Mr. York.
Good morning, Clayton. Good morning, Delk. And you've got my deepest sympathy, condolences to your family. And I have a couple of poems I'd like to share with you when you get through introducing the guests, Clayton.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
York, you reached out to me over the weekend, meant so much. Thank you.
Also joining us this morning via Zoom in Scotland, Mr. Ron Hart. Good morning, Ron.
Hey, Delk, everybody. How's everybody doing? Sorry to hear condolences from Scotland. Sorry to hear that, Delk. That's tough.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. What are you doing over there?
Ain't math. Doing golf.
All right.
Playing Turnberry. Trump's Turnberry golf course is played there today, and Roy Dornick tomorrow, and the St. Andrews will be in a couple of days. So just some friends, some 8 guys on a trip.
What time of day is it there?
It's 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
2 in the afternoon. 3 in the afternoon. Yeah, 6 hours ahead.
All
We
right.
just got through playing. We're driving to Edinburgh, so.
You know, Delk, I'm sorry he doesn't know how to have fun.
No. And good morning, Jim Ross, and thank you so much for coming in, Jim.
I'm glad to do it. You know, I've only known you, I think I'm 68, you're 67. I think I've known you every one of them. So,
I think that's right.
So-
I'm confident that's right.
in fact, come to think of it, Delk, I'm going to remind you of a story. I don't think you, until you hit junior high, I don't think you owned a shirt that didn't have Jim Ross label in the back of it.
I got a lot of hand-me-down clothes from the Ross household. Of course,
Yeah.
you were one of 3 boys, so they were.
Oh, we had a lot of them.
Carolyn Ross had a lot of clothes to distribute around.
Oh, yeah.
That is so true, Jim. All right, go ahead, Clayton.
We also have Lewis Maddox on with us. Good morning, Lewis.
Good morning, everybody. I think I've run this show one time in my 5 years that I've been here, and it's, a terrible way to make the second, but, we've always got Delk's back, and I love Delk. I love the Kennedys, and I know they love me too, so.
That's true, Lou.
They've treated me so great over the past 5 years, and just very hurt and deeply sorry. And Delk, we love you.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you. Thanks for getting in here.
We also got Coach James Dickinson joining us. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Good morning, Clayton. How you doing?
Talk about another very special person I can't imagine going forward without. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. It's been we sit around and tell stories all the time, and we got one this morning we got to tell that we hate to tell. We had in the last 4.5 years, we had a lot of adventures, a lot of great adventures.
You and
Lot of
Mary
fun.
Susan went out. Y'all went out and hit the streets selling advertising.
We did
all the time.
I got to
She loved it.
hang out with Mary Susan on a daily basis. A day didn't go by, she didn't call and give me an update of what's going on with the grandkids, or she'd call me up in the middle of the day and said, Coach, what you got lunch plans today? I said, well, what you got? She said, well, me and the grandkids are going to go eat lunch, and they want to eat lunch with you. So we'd go eat lunch with the grandkids. once, twice a month, and it was like family to me. And it's tragic loss last Friday that something I'll never forget in my life. And but the Kennedys are special people, and we love you, Delk.
Thank you, Coach. Again, you're one of the ones I think about when I think about it. Just have the ability to get out of bed and keep going. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Susan's college friend from Vanderbilt, Regina Whitley, is here with us. Good morning, Regina.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here at the radio station. That was your partnership with Mary Susan. Can I say a few words?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, I actually collected my thinking last night and sat out on the front porch of the best bed and breakfast in Columbia, which is Christy and Greg. Their home, and they have been such kind hosts to me during the time I arrived in Columbia. I was at Vanderbilt when I learned the news, and I was thinking as I was walking, I have known Mary Susan for 50 years because we were freshmen together, and it would have been 1974 August that we met. She just had celebrated her Harpeth Hall reunion, and made a tribute to her dear friend Beth Davis, who we lost about 10 years ago, and everyone just gave it rave reviews. Her ability to collect her thinking and to just honor her friend was really, everyone spoke of it. I've got a few things to say if y'all will give me the floor for a little bit here. Christy, my host, has just walked in.
Have at it.
I'll do it. Okay. Again, as I said, I met Mary Susan, freshman hall, Vanderbilt. And the first day we were there, our resident mother said, I want everybody to sit around the hall.
Do
So
they
we were-
still have resident mothers
They
at
do,
colleges?
or resident, I don't know if they called her mother. I think it was my
Well,
grandmother.
this
I'm
radio
thinking of.
station had one. It's called Mary Susan.
Right. So it was our resident, it was a graduate student who probably got free dorm space to be the sort of leader of your floor. And so she asked us all to sit on the floor, and we went around and introduced ourselves. And my name is Regina Whitley from Memphis, Tennessee. But when we got to Mary Susan, it was so pipey, her voice, she said, and I will never forget it, my name is Mary Susan Berry from Franklin, Tennessee. I thought, I love this girl. And the theme of what I want to say is she was the love of my life, truly. And I'll try to hold it together here. She made me a part of her family from the very beginning. Her mother, Sue, just a role model, just amazing. And you know that her mom served in the Red Cross in World War II. She was truly just this outstanding leader. And Mary Susan took up so much of her character and just her just gentle. She was such a Southern lady. And Mary Susan was so much like her mom. But I was always welcome at their home, and just a lovely experience at the Berry Farm in Franklin, Tennessee. We together joined the Kappa Alpha Theta sorority, and that was a big part of Mary Susan's college experience. She was the one who handled rush and all the facets of bringing girls in, and we had a great class, and we brought many of our freshman hall members into the sophomore year, so we were extremely welcoming and inclusive as much as we could be. And what that sorority sort of thing is. I remember our spring break trips to Daytona Beach. We were all sleeping on the floor with pots on our head because we had roaches as big as our hand. And so it was not delightful, but we had fun. And we said at that time, we will be beach buddies for life. And I worked my summers in Mackinac Island, Michigan. Mary Susan came up, got a job in the same hotel, the Iroquois Hotel, but was called back to conduct rush. They told her she could not spend her time gallivanting in Michigan. She had to get on back to Nashville to manage the process for Kappa Alpha Theta. But truly a lifelong friendship. I would say Glendale Farm has just been so much a part of my adult life. So welcoming, just to over the river and through the woods to arrive at that just tranquil place. And I live in Memphis. I had been in Washington, D.C., so serious city life, but to come in such a haven and just a beautiful preserve. And the Kennedy family they truly were my second family. And known Barry and Sam from the very beginning. I'll tell a story on Mary Susan. She was 9 months pregnant and still having a party. We're sitting out on the front porch.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm not surprised. She was. We had a chicken sort of cookout, and I just walked in. My sister had been in the medical profession, and she had just delivered a baby. And I said, Mary Susan, you don't look good. How are you feeling? And so she was laying back on her bed, and she said, I'm feeling it. And I said, okay, you tell me when it hurts, as if I was going to deliver this child. And so I was timing my watch, and I walked in. Little by little, people understood they better go home now. So the porch cleared out, and I found Delk in a rocking chair in the kitchen. I said, Delk, where's the suitcase? He goes, what suitcase? They were so unprepared. So we got them to the Columbia Hospital, and I remember Mrs. Kennedy came, and we sat on the floor. At the time, you could just sit on the floor of the hospital hallway with the double doors opening into the delivery room. And Jad Davis, who I was dating at the time, was laying prone in the chapel, not due to prayer, but due to having enjoyed himself quite a bit. And that baby was born in short order, 2 hours. Sam Delk Kennedy came into the world, so they barely made it to the hospital. But it was a good one, but it said everything about Mary Susan. She was not going to miss a minute of fun. So, again, I've known Sam and Delk and Barry from their very beginnings, and it was a lovely time to be in their life. I'm just going to hit some other highlights. Mary Susan, as everyone knows, and Delk were the pioneers of getting all of our world to Monteagle. Their little cottage in Cabbage Patch is the most charming and lovely getaway, just like Glendale Farm. It's tranquil. And I know Ellie Billington would say the same. I heard through Christy that she said last night that they were there at the same time, the youngest adults in that community, and it was just a little bit daunting with all those elders kind of guiding their life. But what a sweet place, and it really did influence so many people to be part of that lovely community. And over the years, I had the great opportunity to join them there. And to watch Mary Susan in the latter years, she was the camper extraordinaire with her grandkids. She had them at hummingbirds. She had them at eaglets. She had them at the eagles. And I know, Delk, that's the only reason you wanted to go in the future was to be with your grandkids.
Yes.
But that just so shaped their life. And it's something that everybody here wants to keep going for those kids. Such great kids. And Sam and Rachel have really raised a great family. And so Margaret Berry and Samuel and Ridley, they are such a tribute to Mary Susan and Delk and to their other grandparents. It's just lovely to see such a great family. But what I'll really miss is I would call Mary Susan every week. And I'd usually catch her on Sundays. It was after church in the afternoon before dinner, and she would say, "Hey, chickadee." I mean, that was her greeting. And I would say, "What's cooking in Columbia?" But she was generally going out to the pasture. She was going to move some cows, move some fences. She was a partner with Sam and his great agricultural operation. He's a century farmer, I think many of us know. And just a great young man. He just turned 41, which I can't believe, 41 years from the great party on the porch at Glendale Farm. And what a fine young man, and as well Barry. They're just models of young and great adults doing amazing things in their life. And she is very much a part of how they have been shaped, and they're a great character. So it's been lovely to see. But it's been nice to remember and watch Delk and Mary Susan as being the life of Columbia. I didn't get to attend, but the Friday Afternoon Club, I know somebody will talk about it, and you should on this show. But that was a gathering in your young adult life that everyone still remembers. So, and that's how I remember coming to, I think it was the Columbia community center, and there were just lovely lanterns outside, and they had set me up on a blind date, and that's where I met Jad Davis, and that was so much fun. If many of you know, Jad Davis was a fine attorney and just a great young man, and we all loved him. And it was through Jad and Mary Susan and Delk that I met so many of my great friends in Nashville, Tennessee, who are also maybe listening on this call. Ann Davis, Carl Dean, Dudley West, and Sherry West. We became quite a group in the Nashville community, but at the center of it was Mary Susan and Delk and Jad. So it opened up a great world to me as well in my 20s, which I'll always be grateful for. But other things, she was just such a devoted grandmother. And it just, everyone admired. I mean, I know my grandmothers did this for us, but each week they had a night for each grandchild. So one night was Ridley's, one night was Samuel's, and one night was Margaret Berry's. And so those kids felt so special, and each got their own evening of full attention of the grandparents. And it's just such a model for how to be supportive in a world today where, young adults are both working. Rachel and Sam both work full-time, more than full-time. And so to be surrounded by a community that can really help them. But Mary Susan was all in. And she said, I'm a good mother-in-law. I don't push for what day, what time, whenever Rachel and Sam could be there, because they had many commitments. And whether it was for Thanksgiving, they probably ate 4 Thanksgiving dinners. And she was like, they come when they come. And the same thing on Christmas. Just make it work for them and for Barry. So Thanksgiving was always Mary Susan's holiday. The Berry family moved it around, so her older sister Kathy, sister-in-law, does Easter, and I think Amanda does. Her younger sister does Christmas. But always Thanksgiving was at the Berry or Glendale farm, and I had the great opportunity to come on a few occasions, and just everything perfect. Her flowers, her china. And she was a great cook, and always cracked me up. She had to have lima beans because that was her father's favorite. Kind of an odd thing in my book, but it worked on the Berry table. But just a lovely Thanksgiving celebration with all the Berry clan coming in and the Kennedy clan. So a great melding of 2 amazing families. So that was a pleasure in my life, and I feel so honored to have been a part of that. So let me think if there's anything else I wanted to say. I know that Mary Susan came. Oh, this was fun. We were invited. The Kennedy family asked us, as we were just leaving college. Mary Susan was at SMU getting her master's in business administration. Ted Cooper, a dear friend of Delk's, myself and Delk were asked to be the chaperones for Elizabeth Kennedy, the younger, who had just graduated from high school. And I'll always remember that trip. We were supposed to be the serious people. That was not how it turned out. I remember we went to a great bar in Panama City, sitting under ceiling fans, and we had, because Ted being from Texas, we had oysters and a horseradish sauce contest, and we were down just to white sauce and a lot of good beer. And Mrs. Kennedy was keeping up with us. She was hilarious. So we had a big time being the spring break chaperones, and I don't know where those high schoolers were because we didn't pay much attention. It was just like, we were not doing our duty, but we had a great time. And I had the pleasure to host Mary Susan and both Sam and Barry in Washington, D.C. at different times. Barry came to be an intern on Capitol Hill with my then husband, and that was really fun for her to get a little bit of experience of Washington, D.C. And Sam came because he was thinking about whether West Point or Annapolis, and he had a weekend at each of those schools. So in between, he came and stayed with me. I had a 3rd floor that was just some exposed brick, just almost a loft, and he just took over and just kind of enjoyed himself resting up between those pretty serious appointments at both schools. And I discovered, and I shared with Mary Susan, I said, Mary Susan, his screensaver is Rachel. She's like, no. But yes, indeed, Rachel became, just again, the love of his life, his fiance, in very short order. And a few other memories. I'm kind of skipping around in time, but
Regina, why don't we? We're at our break time.
I'm sorry. Here, I'm
let's-
talking your arms off.
That's all right. We just continue it when we come back.
Okay, because I got a couple of more anecdotes, and then I'll turn it over. I'm sure everybody has
That is-
lovely things
Thank
to
you
say.
so much.
Sorry.
For 40 years, the Jewelers Bench has worked hard for their customers and provided the highest quality jewelry at the best price. They keep going back. Recent renovations have allowed them to expand their inventory. More high-quality jewelry, custom vintage and estate pieces, and professional jewelry and watch repairs. They also buy gold. The Jewelers Bench, still here, still great service. 808 Trotwood Avenue, Columbia.
Hello, my name is Connor Mims. My wife Bradley and I live in Columbia, Tennessee in Riverside. I am a deck and porch builder, and my wife is a 2nd grade teacher at Riverside Elementary. My specialty is designing and building elegant and comfortable porches and decks. Let me work with you to design and build the porch or deck of your dreams. Give us a call today from our website, mimsmodernlandscape.com. That's mimsmodernlandscape.com, and check out what we have to offer. Thanks.
The generations that have paved the way for us deserve respect, integrity, and compassion. This is Kelly Dobson, owner of Caring Hearts Home Healthcare. My grandmother and mother started this business in 2005, and I was honored to take over in 2012. Licensed and insured, we help our aging community stay in the comfort of their own homes. Online at CaringHeartsHomeHealthcareLLC.com, by phone 931-381-5470, or in person at 1121 Trotwood Avenue here in Columbia. That's Caring Hearts Home Healthcare.
Hey, this is Seth Moss at Tennessee Valley Equipment, a premier FAE PrimeTech, Bandit, and Surex dealer. We are your dealer for all of your land clearing and forestry mulching needs. We sell equipment, provide repair service, and parts along with a rental fleet of mulching equipment. We also offer mulching teeth, blades, and sharpening. Our number one priority is getting you up and running as quickly and affordable as possible. Tennessee Valley is located at 300 Santa Fe Pike in wonderful Columbia, Tennessee. Stop by or give us a call today at 931-981-9812.
This is Sue Fox. Are you looking for a swimming pool for all seasons? Whether you want to lose weight or just give yourself much-needed therapy, water therapy is the perfect non-stress exercise for the body. Come to Fox & Company Salon and Day Spa and indulge in our heated lap pool, jacuzzi, and dry sauna. Just bring a swimsuit, towel, indoor footwear, and a friend. Call Fox & Company Salon and Day Spa today at 381-1773 or stop by 1211 Hatcher Lane for a tour. Oh, wait, ask about our new chair yoga sessions.
Farmer Johnny here, Taylor Family Farm. I want to give y'all a little look-see. We raise 100% non-GMO, grass-fed beef, pasture chicken, and pork on our family farm. Everything that we grow is raised with love and care to ensure the highest quality and nutrition for our family and customers. You can shop online at TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com or visit our farm store in person at Etheridge, Tennessee at 301 Dave Reisner Road. That's TaylorFamilyFarmTN.com for more information.
It's Memorial May with an entire month of Memorial Day savings at Benton Nissan of Columbia. Over 300 vehicles to choose from. Get 0% APR financing on your favorite 2024 models and save thousands. Also, payments as low as $299 per month on the new 2024 Sentra. Visit BentonNissanofColumbia.com to start saving today.
At Benton Nissan, your friend in the car business.
Number Y276055. Price $20,907. $299 a month for 72 months at 6.3% with $3,000 down. Plus tax, tag, title, and fee with approved credit.
Hi, this is Terry Tillis from Tillis Jewelry. Here is what some of our customers are saying about us. Great people, the place to shop for fair prices and great craftsmanship, beautiful vintage and custom jewelry. Thank you, Beth. That is our goal. Stop by and see for yourself. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Tillis Jewelry, downtown Columbia, owned and operated by Rick, custom designer, and Carrie, registered gemologist, assuring you the best jewelry value and expert services.
This is Mark Curry at the Trailer Store. We are a local, family-owned business. Every day, I work with my wife, Susie, my mother, Becky, and my son, Justin. We offer a full line of lawnmower trailers, utility trailers, stock trailers, and a full line of trailer parts. We also offer service. Come see us at 1021 New Lewisburg Highway. Call us at 931-381-2795. That's 931-381-2795.
Are you thinking about a new fence? Maybe you need a pole barn. Then you should give Sands Fence Company a call. That's 931-309-1644. Will Sands has built his business based on the principles of honesty, quality, and integrity. Sands Fence Company has been in business for over 20 years, providing the community with farm, residential, and commercial fencing, as well as pole barns and buildings. Call today for a free estimate. Sands Fence Company, 931-309-1644. 931-309-1644.
Don't camp out waiting for a home repair. Keep your home running all summer during Hiller's Happy Camper Month. This month only, enjoy no interest financing for 24 months with equal payments on select home systems and upgrades. Or take advantage of our $99 drain cleaning special. Don't miss out on these big summer savings. Visit happyhiller.com today. Happy He'll be or the service is free.
Call a Happy Face Truck today.
Call 844-567-6110 for details about credit costs and terms. For new accounts, the APR for purchases is 28.99%, subject to credit approval.
A1 Tree Removal is there for the community in times of need. If you have fallen trees or broken branches and limbs that you need removed, contact A1 Tree Removal. Licensed and insured, A1 Tree Removal is a family-owned business that is locally owned and operated. If you have trees down and need help today, call or text Luke at 931-359-3113. That's 931-359-3113. Give A1 Tree Removal a call or check them out on Facebook today for all of your tree servicing needs.
This is Debbie Matthews with the National Realty Group, and if you've been paying attention, you know the housing market has been tough, but rates are beginning to thaw. So if you're thinking about selling, the time to jump in is getting better every day. But if you're thinking about buying and those interest rates are still a little bit too high, a good agent knows how to negotiate interest rate buy downs, and I'm a good agent. So call me, Debbie Matthews with National Realty Group, 615-476-3224.
Some people are just obsessed with their lawns. They'd cut their grass with a pair of scissors if they could. Thanks to Gravely, they don't have to. You see, Gravely makes not only the best built and most comfortable lawnmowers, they also leave your house looking like a doggone country club. So whether you're a commercial landscaper wanting the best or just a perfectionist homeowner, you can't do better than a Gravely.
See our full line of Gravely products at Murray County Equipment, 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard in Columbia, Tennessee, or check us out on Facebook.
This is Del Kennedy, Front Porch Radio. This afternoon, I am at Foodland in beautiful downtown Columbia, Tennessee. I'm in this newly renovated store. It looks fantastic. It's a wonderful place to shop. It's stocked with everything you can possibly imagine you want from a grocery store. I'm speaking with Miles Johnson, your hometown grocer. And this week, Foodland has a new circular out, as they do every week. You can get it in paper, get it at the front door of Foodland with specials that run through Tuesday, May the 21st. Miles, what's going on at Foodland this week?
This week we have Tide Simply detergent, $6.99 each. Boneless pork chop family packs, $2.99 a pound. Cantaloupes 2 for $5. Vidalia onions, 88 cents a pound. And Sun Drop 6-packs, 3 for $11.
Wow, and that's just a few of the specials at Foodland this week. And don't forget, Foodland is the place for guys who grill. Best meat department in Murray County. Miles, have a great week.
Thank you, you too.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Tennessee for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, welcome back. Three Dudes with a View. My name is Del Kennedy. I'm dude number 3. Again, Mary Susan Berry Kennedy is honored by the people who have gathered here today to remember her, dying in a freak tragic fall last Friday. My wife of 43 years, mother of 2 amazing children and 3 amazing grandchildren. Dude number 2, Clayton Harris. Good morning.
Good morning, Delk. I haven't had a chance to really remark on this, and we're going to get back to Regina in just a second, but it's just a terrible tragedy, and I'm so sorry. She was loved by so many people, and she was a big part of what we did here at the radio station, and she's going to be greatly missed, and it's just that words just can't describe how much she's going to be missed. So,
thank you, Clayton. Yeah, I think all of us are going to have a hard time finding a way forward. Mr. Jim York, good morning.
Good morning, Del. Good morning. Let me share this poem with the group this morning.
Please.
It's aimed at those folks that celebrate Mary Susan's life. But it's called Death Has Come to My Door, and it's by David Johnson Rowe. It says, Death has come to my door. Now what? What should I say? What should I do? What should I wear? What should I send? What do I think? What do I feel? What do I believe? Is heaven real? Death has come to my door. Now I must get ready. Death is very real. Like taxes, it is steady. Always with us. Death has come to my door. It enters in whether invited or not. It takes its place. It rearranges one room, makes useless another. It quiets and softens the sound of life. Death has come to my door. Things will not be the same again. Something was lost, but what was gained is the living of that life. And I am grateful for that life. Yes, death has come to my door, but I will believe that there will be a day come when death shall be no more. And that's by Reverend David Johnson Rowe.
Lovely, Mr. York. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's absolutely lovely. All right, Regina Whitley, friend with Mary Susan since their freshman year at Vanderbilt, I think was sort of concluding.
Some notes, I
guess.
guess.
Okay.
I'm a talker. I did want to just mention her accomplishments in that she did get her Master's of Business and Administration after just a great experience at Vanderbilt. She was an excellent student. She could just read the note, read the book, shut it, and she had it. I mean, just made excellent grades, and just it all came easily to her. She went on to, as I said, SMU, and her colleague and friend is coming in, Lee Buford Threadgill. They were together. Lee is a dear friend who will be singing in the choir this week. She studied, she got her MBA, but then she found her first role here in Columbia as a professor in the College of Business, and she taught marketing and sales, and it was lovely to see her really be such a great professional. She got her PhD in Memphis, came back, so she was a tenured professor, and such an accomplishment. I think, how many years was she there? 39?
40. Yeah.
40 years at the, and you can think of how many students she must have influenced there, so that's a lovely part of her life, but so many other people's lives. And she was a pioneer in teaching online courses. Today it's just secondhand for so many, but she really was part of that development at Columbia State as well. So such a champion of education. So what was lovely to see is that after those 40 years with entering into this station, she took all that hypothetical experience, marketing and sales, and put it to work right here in Columbia. She was the salesperson extraordinaire, as Coach said, and the marketing person extraordinaire. And our dear friend Christy, sitting next to me, is so much of a promotional person as well that she was has worked at the Chamber, Maury Region. What is it, Maury Alliance? Murray Alliance. And as an ambassador, so she put it all to work. So really helping to drive the success of the station. And I love seeing her be in a position to have that second career and bring it all to bear. I want to mention Paris because I got to go backpack through Europe and with a girlfriend after experience at Mackinac, and we found Mary Susan in Paris with her friend Lee Buford, I mentioned. And Lee was training at the Cordon Bleu School of Cooking, and Mary Susan was just enjoying herself. And so my friend Maureen and I caught up with them. I will never know Paris because she had us all over that city. And just, you're disoriented when somebody's the leader and you never really have made the plan for the day. But we had a lovely experience there. And she also studied while at Vanderbilt at Aix-en-Provence with a group of girls, and they became lifelong friends, as she called them, the French girls, and most recently had the chance to go back to Paris with her daughter Barry, and they were all over the place. Some great photographs of their walking Paris and all the monuments, and just had a lovely time. A great mother-daughter trip to Paris, to Aix, and to Cannes, and other places. So it was lovely to see that. So I've talked way too much, but she is. I just want to end on the same note. She was the love of my life, and I will just miss her terribly. So thank you for letting me share my thoughts of my very, very dear friend, Mary Susan.
Thank you. Christy Martin is here this morning. Christy and Greg have been our friends since we were having babies.
You and Mary Susan, Greg and I. Yes. Well, gosh, how can I follow Regina? Except to say I will. I was speaking with another dear friend of Mary Susan's, Ellie Billington, yesterday, and she said, I was telling someone that Mary Susan I knew I was her very dearest friend. And she said, the person I was speaking to said, oh no, I was her very dearest friend. And I said, Ellie, but wait, I was Mary Susan's very dearest friend. The fact is, if you knew Mary Susan, you were her very dearest friend. And she had countless best friends. And Mary Susan loved large. If she knew you, you were hers. You just never knew where the venture was going to take you. And I'm just grateful for the 40 years that I've had with her. And one thing I know is that the memories are so large, the light will continue to shine. And we'll keep those memories in our hearts and be with your family. And that's all I can say today. Thank you.
Oh, sweet. Very sweet.
Thank you, Christy. Barry, you want to say something about your mom? Okay.
Tomorrow.
You can't do it. Yeah,
Thursday.
That's right. That's okay. Coach, she enjoyed your company so much. I mean, she would look forward to those days that y'all had some project going together.
Yeah, you're right, Dale. She is larger than life. We had tremendous good times, and I was around her probably more than anybody was on a day-to-day basis. Or I know I got more phone calls than anybody got from her most every day. Coach, let me tell you about this. Coach, let me tell you this. And she talked about both of you girls a lot. And especially the trips to France, and with you and your mother went to France together, and she showed me all the pictures. I had to sit there and look at every picture. Got to look at them on the phone first, and she got them made, and I looked at every one of them with her. We spent hours looking at pictures, and she would call me out sometimes. She said, "Hey, can you ride to the farm with me? I need to help me find something. Can you go out to the farm? I need some help getting some fence posts loaded in the truck. Can you go out to the farm? I need moving cattle." And I was a go-to guy, and I was always up for the task. I dropped whatever I was doing. I said, "Yes, ma'am, Mary Susan, let's go do it." And we enjoyed a lot of dinners together. "You hungry, Coach? Let's eat. Coach, let's go get a cup of coffee." So I was at the coffee shop with her a lot. We went to restaurants together a lot. We went on sales call together. And she loved getting out, meeting and greeting people, and she never met a stranger. And I was around Mary Susan a lot, and I never heard her say anything negative about anybody. And so that's tell you something about Mary Susan right now, because I can ride down the road and say something negative about a lot of people. And and Mary Susan look at me and said, "Well, Coach, that wasn't nice." Yeah, but we had a special time together. It's even up to the tragic accident. We was together that morning for 45 minutes upstairs, and she was going over the trip. She's wanting me to drive her truck for her. The brakes squealing, wants me to get her armrest fixed on the truck. Then she told me about the Granddaughters Award at Agathon the other day. And she, "You hungry, Coach?" I said, "No, I don't have time to eat right now, Mary Susan." She said, "Well, I've got a lot of stuff to do today." And then I said, "I got to go downstairs with Delk. We have a client coming in, and we do a 9:30 show." We did a 9:30 show, and Delk and myself, and we did the show and did the recording. Then we left there and went back out in the lobby, and Mary Susan picked up where she left off, and we commenced talking and going in a direction, talking, and just, all kind of stuff. And then we walked out on the porch, and then we turned around and walked back in. And so minutes later, that's when the accident happened. And so we're going to miss Mary Susan. I never in my life thought Mary Susan's life would have ended that morning. She was on top of the world. She was excited. She loved life. She loved family. And she treated us like family. And so I always said that Mary Susan and Delk's, kinfolks, they're cousins or something, we're that close. And It was a tragic morning. Yes. And I'll never forget Mary Susan. And I know you guys won't forget her either. She's one of a kind. There's nobody ever been made like Mary Susan. And I know she's in a good place. She loved the Lord Jesus Christ, Savior, and she's sitting up there right now smiling about this show right now. We love you, Mary Susan.
Oh, Coach, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Christy.
Okay, so Delk, I have one thing. Coach, I think we made a Roll Tide fan out of Mary Susan. She was so excited. Clayton, Coach, myself, we're all about the Tide, and University of Alabama graduate. And she called me one day and she said, "I have the very best news for you. we have landed the Eli Gold Show, and you are going to be able to listen all through the football season. So we've talked about that a lot, Coach, and she was always with us, you know, whatever we wanted, she did it.
Absolutely amazing. Clayton, I don't know. Where do we go from here?
I tell you, Doc, it's just, you know, I always compare things to sports. People that know me, and she was like the team mom for the station here, and she, like Coach was saying, she was such a go-getter and was always just involved in everything, and especially with my children going to the same school as your grandchildren, and her involvement there was just incredible, along with being at the church and everything that she did there, and just seeing all the lives that she impacted. You know, she would politely ask me if we weren't at church what all we had going on that weekend with the kids, and she was just one of the sweetest people I've ever known, and it's going to be tough, but I know that like Coach said, I know where she's at now, and it's you know, it's not going to be easy, but you know, it's just such a tough time, tough situation, and I'm praying for all the family and all of her dear friends. It's just truly just unbelievable. So we do have Jim Ross in the studio with us today, who's on our Friday show. And Jim, you hadn't had a chance to speak this morning. If you'd like to say a few words.
Oh, sure. I saw Mary Susan every Friday, every single Friday. We'd have the radio show from 8 to 9. And as most of y'all know, our show is a little bit different flavor than Three Dudes in Review. But I always see her. She would always
a little more civil.
Yeah. Well, she would always come over from Breakfast Rotary, which she was a very devoted member. And she was always, I guess probably the best adjective is effervescent. I mean, she was going. I mean, she was at full speed all the time. She did everything in the world around here and around a lot of things. But to your point, that she really was all about relationships. And it was either her family, or it was with Rotary, or with the church, or with Mont Eagle, and just all of these places like that. And you could tell all the time. And we had our Sunday school, Delk, this past Sunday school, we were introduced on a new topic and a new name that's kind of coming into the culture. And it's called Kin Keeper.
Never heard of it.
Kin Keeper. It's somebody that is the glue of the family. It's usually the matriarch most of the time, but they're the ones who are either organizing parties, we're going to have a dinner, you're doing this and you're doing that, and all the things that they do, and they're kind of the central hub that kind of runs everything, and they're the glue really that kind of keeps things together. And that really, from observing Mary Susan all these years, and particularly with the radio station, I would say that probably describes her pretty well, and probably her role within the family.
You're right. You're absolutely
and she
right.
it's called Kin Keeper. And anyway, one of the things always, we had a conversation with her literally an hour before the accident, and she was bragging in a nice way about how her granddaughter had scored in the 99th percentile on the national Latin exam.
It was the 100th.
Okay. Well, that's what she said, 99th. But nevertheless, you could see the pride just all over her about all that. And it was kind of delightful to see. And it was really, really nice. But there was not a time ever that I left this radio station that she didn't holler at me and ask about how everybody was doing. And she said, "Tell Terry, my wife, hi." And every single time that she did that. And so, you know, the thing about all this, and I'm unfortunately my family has experienced its share of premature passings.
Yes, you have.
But the kind of one of the great things is that we've got these wonderful memories of her, and therefore, even though she's not with us in body, she'll never not be with us otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, she'll always be with us. She'll always be here. We'll always know of her and the things that she did. And it's just an absolutely wonderful life, and one, while we're having sorrow, needs to be celebrated for what all she did and what all she meant to people. And
Jim,
so it's
yeah.
just it's a life well lived. So it's the best I can say about that.
Jim, thank you. Thank you. And I just want to thank everybody, the overwhelming support that we received. Sam and Rachel and Barry and I have received and continue to receive from the folks at this station, friends, neighbors, the community. It's just overwhelming, and thank you to each one of you for all the messages, the food. I've got enough food in my house for
for an army.
Yeah, for about 10 church picnics maybe. But
well, if Schofield comes marching through, at least he knows where he can get fed.
And people are just helping and supporting Sam, Rachel, Barry, myself in so many ways, and it means a lot to her. I know it means a lot to us. My son Sam has entered the room. Sam, do you want to say anything?
I got a quick one that might fit. Am I on? While we're all saying nice things about her, she had this game that she used to play with Barry and I called TL. I got a TL for you. And I think it means tell last, right, Barry? I think it's a game she got from her mother, but the game is if she would hear someone would compliment us in town, she would say, I've got a TL for you, but you can't hear the compliment until you think of a compliment that someone said nice about her. And of course, I'd be like, well, Mom, my friends don't talk about you, which they do, but she would always end up giving us a TL. But it was just another one of the cool ways that she always kept her loved ones built up and made sure you were feeling good. And so I got a bunch of TLs for her now, but I'll have to save those for later, Mom. So.
You'll see her again.
Oh yeah, we'll exchange. But that was driving over. That's what I was thinking about when listening to the show. So.
Everybody's talking about she made everybody feel like family, and she always treated me like a second son, I guess, to Sam, kinda, and especially when I was working here, and I started as an intern, and then the Kennedys bought the radio station, and when COVID happened, and I started working here every day, she'd always come in and say, you're not allowed to go back to school when this is over. You've got to stay here, and we're not going to let you leave. So that always stuck with me, and I think that always will stick with me every time I saw her and think about her. And she's just a great lady. Loved her very much.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you. What are the grandchildren doing today?
Swim lessons, doctor's appointments, getting new clothes, getting
school's out.
Yeah, getting lined up for summer. So
they'll have fun.
Blake, let me give a last poem in relation to
thank you, Mr. York.
Situation.
Yes.
This is called The Secret Place, Delk. And it's by John Oxum. Each soul has its secret place where none may enter, save it and God, to them alone. What goeth on therein is known to it and God alone.
Thank you, Mr. York. Thank you. Wow. Again, I just want to say thank you one more time on behalf of Sam, Rachel, Barry, the grandchildren, myself, the overwhelming support, thoughts, prayers we've gotten from the folks at this station, the community, the church, wherever we go, and it just is amazing. And of course, we knew that Mary Susan was amazing, but to hear all these folks talk about, I mean, when it looked like she wasn't going to make it, I thought to myself, if anybody deserves the Mother Teresa Award, it was Mary Susan.
Amen to that.
And we need your support, folks. It's going to be pretty doggone rough for me and Sam and Barry for a while. And thank you for what you're doing for us. Appreciate it very much. Clayton, we're about at the end, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
We don't play any music today, so I don't have any cues. But
Yes, sir. No, it's we're down to our last 15 seconds. So,
all right.
I thought today's been a really good show.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you to everyone who's messaged, called, come to the house. It means a lot, and we need you.